It's time for good energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and welcome to Bodyful Day 187. Today we're talking about plantar fasciitis and the sense of hearing. All right. Yes, I'm going to slide into this one a little bit today, but it's still good information. All right. Let's start with the basics. Let's take our deep breath in and release. We're going to take another deep breath in, expand in the belly, expand in the chest, expand in the sinuses, and tuck your tailbone under. Deep breath in. And release. Now, if you haven't quite figured out why I say tuck your tailbone under, let's go back and revisit the section on breathing and the senses, or maybe it's just the week on breathing, conscious breathing, where I talk about how every time you take a breath, you should feel movement. We already know about breathing into your belly, breathing into your chest. Breathing into the sinuses is a little odd, but this whole concept of tucking the tailbone under. And what happens when you tuck the tailbone under, when you take a deep breath in, all of your organs, your tailbone sits here like this. All of your organs start to push down, and then it causes the tailbone to go down a little bit more. And it actually causes it increases this distance between your lumbar spine and your sacrum. And that actually is stress relieving. So a really good deep breath in is going to cause that tailbone to tuck under, cause that spine to move just a little bit, cause a little bit more space in the spine, and that actually is really good energy in. All right, our final breath is going to be about, today we're going to breathe into the plantar fascia because we've got it. All right, plantar fascia sits at the bottom of your feet, and we are going to take a deep breath into the bottom of our feet. So, deep breath in and release. All right, so today we're talking about plantar fasciitis and the sense of hearing. We have covered everything but the kinesthetic sense. That is tomorrow, and that's because that is the easiest one to talk about when we're talking about plantar fasciitis, because that's the movements of the muscles and joints in your body. But today we're going to talk about the sense of hearing in relation to plantar fasciitis and my hypothesis on plantar fasciitis, which happens to do with stress. So if you remember, the healing equation is energy to heal equals good energy and minus stressors. And when you have a lot of stress, your adrenal glands take your vitamin C, which means that you make lower grade connective tissue, and your plantar fascia is the connective tissue on the bottom of your feet, and it has to connect, it has to hold up all of your body weight. So you can imagine, if there's one place in your body you do not want weak connective tissue, it is in your feet. And women who are pregnant or who have been pregnant can tell you that whole weakness in the foot, and that's because of the hormone relaxin. Relaxin causes the ligaments in those feet to relax. Imagine if it wasn't for a hormonal reason, but instead it was for stress, that the bottoms of those feet, the ligament, the connective tissue in your feet, relax and cause this heel movement to happen, and then causes additional stress. Well, when we talk about hearing, we talk about the fact that in hearing, we can have good energy in because we can listen to our best music, we can listen to our most calming music, we can listen to music that suits our mood, and that is actually good energy in. But one of the ways to tell that your plantar fascia is being driven by stress is that you have a lower tolerance to sounds outside your favorites. So, or a lower tolerance for sounds in general, the squeals of happy children, the sound of, and this is an old-fashioned sound, but the sound of playing cards in wheels of in bike tires. That clicky sound is going to cause you more stress because it's going to be an annoying, consistent sound that will actually raise your level of stress, because the more good energy in you have from, say, not having pain due to plantar fasciitis, the more energy you have to do other things. And in this case, it means tolerate things that are outside your realm of happiness, pleasure, joy. You have less tolerance when you have plantar fasciitis. And this is actually, it's interesting because it's something that I see in all of my patients when they are in pain, and even myself, when I am in pain, I have less tolerance for stupidity, less tolerance for screaming happiness. I don't care if you are happy as the day is blue. I am not, as the sky is blue, I am not going to partake in your joy or wish to be infected by your joy when my feet hurt. That's just not going to happen. The other interesting thing about, we get back to the fight or flight. If you are driven by, if your plantar fasciitis is driven by stress, if it is driven by stress, your fight or flight response is going to pop up. And you are, just like the sense of smell and just like the sense of vision, you are going to be able to hear more intensely. So it's not a surprise that you actually have to click the volume button down when you are stressed. Or that you have people look at you strangely like, I don't need that sound right now, or I can hear it perfectly well over here with you if you turn it down, 2-3 clicks. That is not uncommon because that fight or flight system has kicked in due to stress, and you are ready to pick out any little tick, pop, crunch in the forest at any moment. So, one of the things to pay attention to when you are thinking, is my plantar fasciitis due to the fact that I'm wearing the wrong shoes, or that I have a race coming up and I've run my feet ragged, or if I don't have any of those clear-cut excuses, is it because there is an additional stressor in my life that is causing my adrenals to drain my vitamin C and therefore cause my feet to have poor connective tissue creation? And so we've talked about the sense of smell, we've talked about vision, we've talked about and hearing. So those three are all going to be tied together as your fight or flight mechanism ramps up. All of those are going to be heightened until you reach adrenal fatigue, at which point your body's just going to say, no, I don't care, we're going to shut the whole thing down. So, plantar fasciitis, because it's driven by stress, really does have some benefit based in the healing equation. If you can reduce the effect of stressors so that you have more energy to heal, then you will create more vitamin C, which means that you will have better collagen or better connective tissue formation. So even if it is just saying, hey, I need to listen to my music right now, or can we turn that down right now, or I know you are terribly excited to tell me this story, give me a few seconds to take a breath. Those are all coping mechanisms to deal with the loudness, to deal with the extrasensory information that if you just had a little bit less, it would still be good energy in. And sometimes that's what we have to get. We have to get our little bits of good energy in where we can find it. And that may be telling others to be just a little bit more quiet, or spending more time with your own music and your own sounds. Now, if you're really interested, go back. I believe it is the second or third video in the Bodyful series, so all the way back to day 1, 2, or 3. I took out my bassoon and I played very low notes for you to let you know that certain low notes resonate in the nervous system better than others. And so if we're looking for auditory good energy in to help with general stressors, which is the basis of plantar fasciitis, in my view, if you help with those general stressors by listening to the low frequencies, background noise, low G sharps, low Cs, low Gs, low Fs, really good for people in terms of vibrating in their nervous system and in their body. They resonate in the body really well, which has a good response with the nervous system, and therefore increases your good energy in, reduces your stressors, and lo and behold, you have a little extra vitamin C to make good connective tissue. All right, I hope you are having a wonderful day. I will see you here tomorrow when we get to the nitty-gritty of plantar fasciitis, which is the kinesthetic sense. All right, have a great day.